it just depends from job to job, but that's what kind of keeps it exciting, really. I mean, never knowing what's going to happen and hoping for the best, but being prepared to kind of handle the worst. And when you've done as many different kind of things as I have, it becomes a lot of fun to sort of look back at the good jobs and the tough ones and how they turned out.
Right. Now, and most of your movies are pretty physical. Do you do your own stunts?
I do my own stunts, to the point the insurance company says no. I've never turned. I did a movie with Harvey Keitel, in which Harvey pulled us out of 2 stunts, and we would have been killed in both of them if we hadn't. If he hadn't. I was dumb enough. I was willing to do him. He said no. We're not doing this. And sure enough, things were blowing up and on fire. But the thing is, to me as well, stunt work's an art. I can do my own stunts, but if it's a big, the stunt guys are so good. And it's not just good like, it's not a macho thing like you did it. It's doing it well. Like the stunt guys, you got to realize, I've seen there's movies where, a big, I jump off a building or something like that, and the stunt guy does it. And I'm watching the film, and I can't tell it's not me. Because the guy, even though he's flipping and falling 20 feet and bouncing off a shed and rolling again, every time he's flipping over, he's aware of where the camera is, and he's tilting his head down and keeping, the hat over. Or he's making sure that all the footage is usable, and that means not letting the camera see his face so they can't see it's not me. And also just the flair in which these guys, take a punch or fall out of off a horse or whatever. There's stuff that you can do as an actor, and I think there's a lot of maybe machismo about do my own. There's a lot of stories of actors who say they do their own stunts, and they do them, and then they get sent home, and the real stunt guys do them because on film the stunt guys are so much better. There's just a panache to it. There's a flair to it that's just so gorgeous. It's I don't know, like the trying to think. What's the Dancing with the Stars? Yeah. I don't really watch it that much, but I've actually honestly never seen it except for when my friends have been on it. But you can tell the difference between the actors who are dancing and the professional dancers.
Definitely.
And it's not that. There's some of these guys. There's some of these athletes that are just incredible dancers, and they're so elegant with their moves, and it's like hats off to them. And some of the actors as well, are great. But when you see the real dancers, it's just like, okay, well, there's that difference. And stunt guys are the same thing, they're just so good at what they do that sometimes it's good to sort of let them take over sooner than later.
Yeah, everybody should experience Dancing with the Stars, so I think that includes you at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I actually have a friend who's one of the executive producers on that show, but it's I've had a couple of friends who did it, and they did it kind of for the rush, and they said it's an incredible amount of work and incredibly scary, which I think kind of pretty cool. You think about it, it's the fact that these big guys were who were afraid of nothing and have been on Broadway and done huge, blockbuster movies, are all of a sudden like, this is scary, this is hard. I'm in over my head. So it's a pretty cool event, I'm sure.
Well, with especially with the sports guys, the football players, that's funny, but they're so big you just don't even expect them to be light on their feet at all, and here they are just dancing and gliding across the floor, and it's phenomenal.
Well, that's the thing. People just don't. Maybe it's because of the helmets and shoulder pads, or people have an idea of football players being big dumb jocks. But the reason I'm glad my football career ended in college, and I don't ever wish that I was playing football, is because those guys are so big and so fast and so strong and so incredibly coordinated. It's terrifying. Like some of the guys, I guess wasn't my guy. I can't remember who was on Dancing with the Stars. I just know that there were some and I'm not talking about like the skill players, the wide receivers and running backs, but even the defensive tackles and linebackers and offensive linemen. I mean, these guys are incredible athletes. They're like gazelles, and
right.
they're just really big and scary. And so you think that they're not moving that fast, but that is not.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't want to be in the way of one of them.
Or have one chasing you. That's what gets us so scary. You think about this guy's running after me trying to kill me?
Yeah.
No thanks. No thanks. Yeah.
Well, you have some upcoming projects, Audrey and the Last Light. Now, Audrey, it says completed. When is that going to be released? Next year?
That'll be next year. It's a fun little comedy, really kind of tiny movie that's shot here in L.A. Yeah, it was really Civil Tension's the lead, and it was a lot of fun. I think it came out really well. I mean, The Last Light is something that I'm really proud of. It's the best movie I've ever done. It's a very, very cool, contained psychological thriller. Shot that in Austin, Texas last summer. They were trying to get it ready for either Sundance or Berlin, and they just couldn't. The director, Andrew Hyatt, had another film that he had completed and was being released just last month, The Frozen, and so he couldn't get that together in time. So hopefully we'll be I think they want to have like something together in by January or February to get it into the later film festivals of 2013, whether it's like Austin, South by Southwest, or Toronto, or something like that. So, but I cannot wait for that movie to come out. That's going to be something that I'm really proud of, and I think it could be a really, really, really cool film.
Well, I like psychological thrillers over bloodbaths.
Yeah, then you and me both, and then you'll love this one because it definitely is that movie that keeps you kind of guessing and keeps you thinking, and it's definitely more it's more The Shining and less the Saw. So,
oh, good.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard for me to watch those kind of movies where they're just all chopping people up throughout the whole thing, and I don't get into that.
I'm with you. What they call it, gore porn or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan. Even on Werewolf, there were some scenes in which we had all these corpses and cadavers. There was one scene where I walked into the morgue, I think, and I kind of got vertigo for a second because it was just like bodies everywhere. And, and I know they're fake, and I can even see they're fake because they're made, they look good on camera, but in real life. But still, there was just something wrong with it. And I'm with you. I'm not the biggest fan of that kind of stuff.
Oh, good. If we ever go to the movies together, I know we won't be going to any of those.
We'll have to worry about that. That's I promise.
We're getting to the top of the hour. Would you mind taking one phone call?
Sure.
Okay. We have Dawn, if she can talk, because she says she's shy and she's in awe. Dawn, say hello to Ed.
Hello.
Hi, Dawn.
How are you? I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm just fine. It's good to hear from you.
Well, it's wonderful to be able to talk to you. I just really wanted to thank you for finally releasing an album.
My pleasure. Thank you for supporting it the way you have.
Well, I try because I adore you, but I know you know that because I stalk you on Twitter all the time because I'm crazy. But only for you, man.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much.
So, but I promise if I ever see you in person, I'll probably just turn around and walk the other way and let you just go on about your day. I promise.
No. Well, all right. That's too bad, but okay.
Well, it's just you're just one of those people to me. I'm in complete awe and fascination of you. It's just one of those things. So you're just one of those people to me.
Well, that's very, very flattering, and I'm sure if you met me in person, you wouldn't be nearly as enamored. So let's try and keep it so that we don't meet each other, because I don't want to destroy the dream.
No, I I sort of pay attention to like your little mannerisms, and I just think you would be actually a lot of fun to hang out with. So, and I'm envious of all your friends who just get to hang out.
Oh, I'm a hell of a lot of fun to hang out with. So my friends don't think so because I'm kind of like a bit. Can we swear on this podcast?
Sure.
I can't. I'm a dick to all my friends, so like they'd be happy to get rid of me. So,
I think that's just a guy thing. Aren't all guys dick to all their friends? I mean, that's what's funny about it.
It totally is a guy thing.
I just sit and laugh at it and just watch you guys just pick on each other and just it's funny to me. So keep on doing that.
I will for sure. I promise.
But thank you, and actually you made me pick up my cello again, so thank you so much.
Yeah, well, that's good. One like the saddest thing ever is that my parents forced me to play piano from like fourth grade till my eighth grade, and I was really good. I mean, I could play Bach and Mozart and Chopin and I was good, and then I quit. I didn't want to play. I didn't really want to play, and I didn't play for 6 or 8 years, and all of a sudden I kind of saw a piano and tried to play a little bit, and I'd forgotten everything. And I always thought back, and I was like, it was so stupid because I was forced for 4 years to play. I'd learned it all. Now that I had it, why not just hold on to that? Why not keep that? Don't have to work too hard at it. Don't have to keep progressing, but just hold on to everything that I learned, and I didn't, and I always regret that.
It kills you, doesn't it? It's funny that you mentioned that because I was talking to my girlfriend who actually plays the violin, not professionally, but she like gigs in bars all the time because she loves it. But she does Irish. She does pub music and jazz and stuff like that. But she was trained classically, and she only practices classically so she keeps her technique down. Otherwise, she hates classical music. So No, but that's really, really smart. You keep your chops up, you keep fresh, and anytime anybody says they played, they used to play when I quit, I was like, start again. Don't try and get better. Just try and not forget everything. And that's because you just never know when you want to pick it up again, or you get inspired, and being a little bit familiar with your instrument's key. Yes. So looking at sheet music was a little scary for a minute, but I'm learning my skills. Well, you're way ahead of me. I'm totally illiterate. I can't. My girlfriend told me that I play guitar or I play cello like somebody would play guitar, so I just sort of put my fingers where I think they should go. Yeah. So reading to music, it's terrible. That's crazy. I got very close to being able to read music, and now I don't even think I could figure out a bass clef. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know how to read music. I've never known how to read music on guitar. And but I figured neither did Stevie Ray Vaughan, so who cares? Well, you're amazing, so keep it up. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for all the support. You're welcome.
Thanks for calling in, Dawn. You have a good night. All right. Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.
And would you give a shout-out to Valerie, because unfortunately she had to work, even though she wanted to be here listening? Oh, yes, Valerie. Hi, sweetheart. I hope you had a good day at work. I hope you survived the Mayan apocalypse. We don't know. Maybe Valerie's not here anymore. Maybe she was a victim of the Mayan apocalypse. Isn't it today? 12, whatever it was? Everybody was losing their minds on Twitter, and I actually missed the whole thing. I was in an audition, and it came out, and I missed the apocalypse. But I think we did too.
Well, or maybe we're the only ones left.
I think so.
Yeah, there it is. Well, thank you guys very, very much.
Oh, you're welcome, and thank you for joining us. It was a lot of fun. We'd love to have you back in the future when you have more things that you want to, or just call and say hello. I'll definitely give you guys a shout when I have projects being released, and things to update. So, and the fact that, there's beginning of next year could be some really good stuff coming. I've got got 2 scripts, a pilot and a film that both have really cool stuff sort of happening with that I can't really talk about. But right. Just tease us. So as soon as there's some movement on that, I'll give you guys a call back as well. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Would you mind if I played one of the songs from the EP for our listeners so they can get a taste of what it's about? Absolutely. Your choice. Ladies' choice. Well, you know I'm going to pick A Life Insufficient. So I just think that they'll love that, and I just want everybody to go out and buy it. It's available on Amazon and iTunes. Also, you can go to